Good evening, Tanya Garrett, and my other viewer. I'm just sending a tweet real quick because this is really impromptu, and then we'll get to chatting. Thank you for being here. Come on in, don't be scared. It's been a minute. I'm happy to be here. I didn't let anyone know I was coming on live, so I'm like texting people and sending tweets. I don't know why I do this to myself. Hey, if you're in the bushes, what's happening? If you're on the replay, hello to you. It's been a minute, I know. Hey, JC, how are you? Yeah, safe holiday to you, Tanya. I don't know if you guys are like me over here with what sounds like the Iraq war is going down. But it's like this every year. I'm pretty used to it, but it just really amazes me that this stuff is happening and no one intervenes ever. And of course, they're not going to now because, you know, COVID has slowed everything down, even response time, I'm sure. All right. I think I can survive without mods. Wow, Wayne. Good to see you, sir. Look, I'm not on the YouTube side to see the mods and stuff, but I think you're a mod, Wayne, if I'm correct. Oh, you're in Baltimore, Tanya. Okay. Yeah, it's going down, I'm sure. Well, I'm going to give my proper hello and then we can get this conversation started. I feel a little rusty. It's been like almost probably a month since I've been here. Please ignore the bombs in the background. Hello world, welcome, 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 or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Friday, July 3rd, 2020, and I'm back live, babes. Yo, 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 the truth is so good to see you, Ma. Man, you be on my mind, and I will promise I'm contacting you sooner than later. I'm telling you, I have messages for you. Hi, Mert. What's happening? Good to see you. It's been a minute, you guys, so I'm glad to see you here. That tells me that you're okay and you're surviving the COVID climate. I know there's just so much going on. Like, I haven't been here because life has just hit me, you know. I went back to work. Things sped up real quick at work. I'm really kind of slammed, honestly. I won't say slammed, but I'm really busy. Usually I'm able to balance everything out pretty nicely, but with that, as well as all this activism that's going on out here, I've been protesting against my better judgment. Honestly, I had to pull back on the last few because I realized, you know, there's still a virus out there, and regardless of how passionate I am about the cause and how much I am rooted in making sure that I'm a part of the change, the solution and not the problem. I want to be out there and I want to be making my voice heard, but sometimes you got to pick your battles, and sometimes it's just not the right time for you specifically, meaning me, to be out there. So instead of being out there, I'm here with you, Marcus, Sarah. Good to see you here. Yeah. So yeah, just talking about the today's climate, not only with COVID, but with Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. JC, it's a smart decision. Yeah, I agree. But I guess I don't know. I feel I'm on the fence because I do feel it does. People need to be out there. There needs to be a visible presence, but at the same time, maybe more precautions. I don't know. I do have a whole hazmat suit. Idelia 100. Hello. Good to see you, Ma. But yeah, so I don't know if I just put on the hazmat and the plastic shield and all the other stuff and get out there and melt under the sun, or just do what I can on social media and other mediums, other ways, whatever other ways we can do it. I'm curious to know if any of you are making your voices known. What are you doing to make sure that this change that it seem to be, I don't know, is there change? I don't know if there's going to be change. I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping this doesn't get politicized and propagandized and just used and abused the way, say, hip hop has, this movement. But yeah, I'm curious to know if anybody else is out there. Are you protesting? Are you joining organizations? What are you doing? Are you contributing money maybe? Are you signing petitions at least? There's a lot of petitions to be signed. They're all on Twitter. JC says she's doing everything to spread the word everywhere. And I believe you, JC, because that's just who I know you to be. And we appreciate you, Not everybody is vocal, even behind a keyboard. And I don't see the harm in it. So let's see what's on my list today. So it's the eve of the 4th of July. Do we care about this Independence Day? The truth. Okay, community organizations. Yeah, I already know too. You're active too, Ma. I know you're active out there, beating the pavement, getting people to sign up to vote and making sure your electors or their campaigns are being noticed. And that's good work. I realize I have to give you guys a minute to respond because I'll be ready to move on. Wow, Wayne. Remember, everyone hit the like button. Yeah, let's do that. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to catch this on the replay. Like I said, I didn't give any notice or a heads up on this live. I've been meaning to come live for a minute, but life, as I said, has taken over. But I'm here tonight. Tomorrow, today I was off, and the weekend is ahead of us. But yeah, I was asking, who's celebrating the 4th of July? I know, it's one of our biggest holidays. I know that typically we do associate it with Independence Day. But I do notice this past Juneteenth holiday was much more celebrated than usual. I even admit myself that I typically don't, I don't know why before, I guess I didn't know the history like I thought I did, but regarding Juneteenth, yeah, it seemed to be a more celebrated holiday this year. And I'm seeing a lot of people kind of protesting July 4th as a holiday. So, I don't know if you guys, it's also a reason to be with family if people are still doing that these days, if you're still gathering and to eat barbecue. Yeah, while Wayne says, remember everyone vote Black Lives Matter. Yeah. And in order to matter, your vote needs to be counted. So just, make sure you're getting out there and you're voting. You're making yourself heard at least that way, if no other way. It's anonymous, it's private. And at the end of the day, the numbers count, I think. And if you don't believe so, if you're skeptical about this, I think it's better safe than sorry in this scenario. So let's see. I jotted down some topics. Of course, COVID-19, because it is it's the overwhelming majority when it comes to what's affecting us right now. Even aside from the uprisings, against police brutality, of course, my last live was just after George Floyd's murder. And I came on and I spoke on George Floyd, the situation, as well as, other people recently in the news, Breonna Taylor, whose killers are still not being held accountable, by the way, as well as Ahmaud Arbery. I know his assailants have been arrested. I believe they are still in jail. And I know that they are being charged with murder. And I think there's like different variations of those charges on them. So with that being said, hopefully everyone is out here being safe still, wearing your mask. I know there's a lot of people who are against wearing masks. That surprises me, but it's happening. People are out here fighting people because they don't want to put a mask on. Good evening, Alice. Welcome. So hopefully you guys are wearing masks. I mean, I don't really get the whole, I don't want to wear a mask. I mean, I guess I do in the sense of you can't tell me what to do, government. These are the hardcore, I think, right. I just say right, I guess, the Republicans who do not believe in any government interference or as limited as possible. And I guess that's where this maybe falls. But what I see is safety. Do you want to live? How important is it for you to live and your family members to live versus you being told to wear masks when you're entering a store or a public place? I don't think that it should be so hard. And we're hoping this is temporary. So, a little setback, but people, they're not trying to hear it. I know you guys have seen the craziness online about these people fighting, wearing masks. So yeah, just, wearing your mask and washing your hands and not being in groups for any lengthy period of time. Just do the right thing, do the smart thing, take all precautions. Again, it's maybe not about you. Maybe it's about your mom or your grandmother or, the elders in your family who you're around, or, maybe you share a space with, a living space. Some of us are caregivers, so you have to protect yourself. And I always say that this is a spiritual war before a physical one. And that goes along with COVID. So that just means staying in prayer, making sure, you are connected with your source, your higher power, that, you're walking around in faith that you are protected and that you are, never alone in this. Having your faith intact is always a great sign that you probably gonna be all right. Nothing's guaranteed. We're all, here temporarily, if you want to put it like that. And, I think it's just the best thing to do while we're here is to make the best out of it that we can. And that's being our best selves. And that's incorporating our spirit with our physical existence. Tanya, let's see. Let me start up here. Alice saying, exactly, wear it. I hate the folks that say, it's just like the flu. Right. Yeah. I mean, That's my thing too. It's like there's a lot of people out here with the conspiracy theories about the fact that this thing is not even real, that it's maybe it's man-made or whatever the case. And I'm not really opposed to these thoughts. However, I think it's more important again to embrace the better safe than sorry philosophy, regardless of how it came about, regardless of what you may think is if it's real or not. You don't have the proof. You're not going to be able to prove it. And the best thing to do is to get on board and protect yourself. Yeah, Tanya said it's real. Tanya, you're a granny. Oh, you're taking care of your granny and uncle? Yeah. I also have a grandmother that I help care for. So it's very important to stay safe. Yeah, Wayne, that's right. Sanitizer all day long. XL Play One Games, hello to you. What's happening? It's been a long time, huh? So, yeah, I mean, with regard to COVID, we're going to see how this plays out. I'm in LA or California, and, we're being told that this thing is getting worse. They've opened things back up. I've been at work now for going on 4 weeks, I think, 3-4 weeks. And they slowly but surely started to open things back up. And now they're closing things back down because they're realizing that maybe this was too soon. This is not going to work because we're getting more infections. So I don't know, personally, I feel they open things back up around Mother's Day, I think. And that's when the money is being spent. Same with this 4th of July. Whenever the holidays come around, that's when money is being spent. This is called, an economic boost. So I feel like people who have the power to do so open things back up so we could get a little stimulus. You know what I mean? Thai Team Truth Love, how are you? Good to see you. Alice, 3 family members on my mother-in-law's side have passed in Louisiana. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, people do need to wake up. I agree. That's really sad to hear. I'm not sure, they're saying that people who actually die typically will have underlying issues, or maybe they're elderly. I don't know if those statistics are holding up, but I do know that the age ranges don't seem to, be consistent. So I think the most important thing is to take care of your health. I mean, honestly, just bottom line, the healthier you are, the better. I am a meditation coach, for those of you who don't know. And the method is a mindful breathing. They're breathing meditations. And I'm actually reading a book on breath and breathing. And what I'm learning is that breathing is essential to pretty much every aspect of health. And that goes from brain cells to your oxygen in your cells to weight loss, even erectile dysfunction. I mean, your breathing, there's ways to breathe to cure and relieve certain things. But the bottom line of breathing is that you have to do it through your nose. So what I'm learning is that nose breathing versus mouth breathing, it's night and day. Lifespan extends when your lungs are extended, or your lung span is extended, so is your life. So the book, I'm only on chapter 4, but I've already learned that breathing the techniques and just breathing through your nose in general versus your mouth can save your life, or it can extend your life, and it can also cure a lot of things within your body. True story. This book has a lot of statistics and medical information documented about these things. So just saying all that to say, don't breathe through your mouth. Mike, nice 100. What's happening? Mimi again. How are you? Oh, so good to see you guys. Yeah. Let's see, JC, what are you saying? Perfectly healthy people are dying from COVID. Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, they're saying, asymptomatic people are infecting people and dying also. Tide Team Truth. Yeah, it's too soon. All for the money. Yep. So that's why, it's important to govern your own life, regardless of what they're saying you can do. You can come here, you can go there. You have to govern your own existence. You have to be the decision maker over your existence, over your life, your well being. Nobody else is going to look after you as good as you can. So I always say, take stock of yourself first, you know. Um, Tanya, look what happened to question marks too soon, and he's a celebrity. Who are you talking about, Tanya? Oh, are we talking DL Hughley, maybe? I know the comedian DL Hughley passed out he went out to do some comedy. He fainted and found out he was positive, didn't have any symptoms. And I think, did he infect his family members too? Yeah. JC, the best way to breathe through a mask is breathe through the nose and pierce your lips a little when breathing out the mouth. And when breathing out, push it through the fabric of the mask. And speaking of the masks, yes, thank you for that. These masks and this breathing with a mask on is dangerous also, especially for long periods of time. So there's a whole host of meme or something going around with all of the different things that it does to a person as far as breathing with that mask on for extended periods and breathing in your own exhaled oxygen. This could also be some tactic, you know what I mean? Like if you really want to go into conspiracies, having us wear masks 24/7 and that being a danger in itself. And, why are people wearing masks? And I'm seeing that, their babies or their children don't have on masks. Are the children not susceptible to getting it? I thought that it wasn't aged, didn't matter about age, but I see a lot of that and I scratch my head every time. But you got to be careful with your mask, make sure you're washing them if you're wearing the reusable ones. And, just be smart. Let's see, what is Alice talking about? Alice, it's like all the stay-home orders we did in March and April and May were done in vain. We're back to square one again. No, some young folk have COVID-19 parties, right? Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I saw that on the news. So these kids out here having these COVID parties, they're actually putting money in a pot to see who gets contact with COVID first. Whoever gets contact first gets the money. It's just obvious that people aren't taking this seriously. This could be coming from their parents. There are a lot of actual grown folks out here who are seemingly defiant. They're defying COVID. It's like they're fighting COVID. And you're not going to win if you want to go out and challenge it like that. They're passing around bottles that they're drinking out of after one another. And who knows what else is going on. You know what I mean? With the exchange of bodily fluids and whatnot. Yeah, every day, something new, Tanya. You're right. JC, some are trying to scare mask wearing people. They're not dangerous, but you do have to just make sure that when you exhale, you push it through the mask. Yeah. The first child that died was 5, May 8th, so kids are not immune. Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's really sad also. Imagine, as a parent to lose your child to a virus that, maybe they shouldn't have caught. Maybe there were precautions that weren't taken. I don't know. This whole thing is, we've never experienced this before. I've talked about this in previous lives and videos, but, this is something new for us. So it's just best to be as cautious as you can. And, why test the waters? Why do you want to play with it? Unless you just don't want to be here. I mean, maybe this is the survival of the fittest, the whole Darwin theory, right? Only the strongest survive. Only the smart people survive. I don't know. I always liken living on Earth to a video game. You have so many lives, which are chances, and you have to strategize your way to the finish line. And that's life. Like, you know, that it's, you know, we're all susceptible out here to being caught up, you know, so many different situations that could end our lives, whether it's illness versus, you know, just being killed, getting into a fight, being in a place where, you know, what is it? Wrong place, wrong time. A car accident, a plane crash, a helicopter crash, you know, R.I.P. Kobe. But, you know, we're all susceptible, but, you know, it's just a matter of just, like I said, being smart. Randy Smiley, hello. Excel, right. Why risk your life for some paper? Wayne said he saw a man use a KKK hood for his mask in a video. You know, speaking of mouth breathers, I don't know. I feel like these people just are true mouth breathers. Wow. So let's move on to R. Kelly. You know, I know, you know, most of you guys know my channel for R. Kelly talk. I haven't really, you know, what is there to talk about? We know that he is appealing his no bond order. He's had what, 3 or 4 of those things. So now he's taking it to appeals court, and the jury's still out on it, or the judge is still out on it. But do we think he's going to get out this time? I'm sorry, you guys are still commenting on COVID. Let me see. Alice, per NBC News, nearly 100 children in the U.S. have been diagnosed with the newly identified syndrome associated with COVID-19. Newly identified syndrome. So are you saying a new symptom or a new strain of the virus? Because I am reading that there's a new wave coming. They're talking as early as August, and they're saying that there are going to be different strands also, new strands. So even more reason to stay inside, in my opinion. I don't know of any gathering, party, celebration that is more important than my life. And I hope you guys feel the same way. You know, a lot of this does come down to self-worth too. Because, you know, if you don't have self-worth, if you don't feel you're worthy, then of course you're going to take unnecessary chances with your life. That's how I look at people who, to me, are just out there doing dumb stuff. Do you really care about yourself? Do you really value your life? And a lot of these people don't. And a lot of people don't even know that they don't. It's like a subconscious, you know, deep-seated issue that they're dealing with. JC, exactly. We don't get do-overs. Life is number one. Exactly. Life above everything. Everything. You know, even if it's just like, you know, just waking up in the morning and being alive is that first thank you in the morning, that first blessing that you get on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, it's just important that we recognize how important life is. XL, happy 4th, huh? So you are still celebrating. I was asking that earlier. Is anybody still celebrating the 4th like we were in the past? Or is it just all about a plate of barbecue and just, you know, saying what's up to family members? But anyway, JC, I've been on a ventilator. Was on it for 2 months. Oh, wow, JC. Well, I'm glad you're not on it anymore. It sounds like you're coming out of that. Keisha, so how are new strands in a virus like people not using their heads? How are new strands in a virus? I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know if you're asking a question or is that a rhetorical, like that's some dumb stuff. Let me know so I can address what you want to address. Alice said, called pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome that is believed to be linked to COVID. Okay. I see what you're saying. So there's going to be like connected illnesses or strands, syndromes, I'll say, not strands. You know, a lot of this when it first came about, was said to be, bio warfare, and it is bio warfare because it's attacking us humans, and it's in the air. Um, so we don't know. This is an unknown territory for us. So we just got to be smart, and pay attention to what the doctors are saying. A lot of people are just kind of going against the information that's coming out because they have it in their head that it's fake. So like I said, only the smart will survive. Okay, Keisha, you said yeah, but I'm still not. You gotta expand a little bit. All right. Let's see. JC, absolutely listen to the doctors, the science. Right. What I meant to word it, that is so suspect. They're trying to get rid of us. Okay, I see what you're saying, Keisha. Yeah, I think that personally, and I have people calling me about it because when this thing first started off, I was like, you know what? I really feel like this is a test run. This first wave, if you want to call it that. It's okay, Keisha. It's okay, Keisha. I got you. This first wave for me was a test run. I felt like we were being, used in an experiment, honestly, and they wanted to see how we would react to it, how soon they could, get certain things done, whether it be the military out here or the hospital set up, or, just, to see all the protocols kind of go into play so we could test it, see how many of us are going to come against this. There were some people who, went out there and protested against wearing masks and things like that. But overwhelmingly, I think everybody was pretty much cooperative. They tested the shutdown of the businesses and yes, a dress rehearsal. Exactly, JC. That's exactly what I meant. So now they're saying there's a second wave coming. So I feel like anything that happens after this is going to be more of the real thing as far as the government and the things that are put into place, the changes. So Alice says we need better leadership in the U.S. to lead by example. Yeah, because your president, not my president, your president doesn't even wear a mask, right? XL said it's happy 4th because it's 12 a.m. Okay, yeah, it's only 9 o'clock here. Or you must be on the East Coast. Happy 4th to everybody out there celebrating this Independence Day. Happy holiday to ya. We do need better leadership. I think, that's why it always starts with yourself. I'm a big proponent of that. Lead yourself. And I think, the best you lead and handle your own self. And once you're intact, you can then go out and help other people. And I think that's the problem. We don't have enough people rooted in taking care of themselves and their families first, and making sure everything is good with them. These firecrackers are going down. Ty says she's doing the dishes. Yeah, I was doing that today, cleaning and, just really actually taking the day off, making sure not to do any work. I didn't want to do anything. I did do some reading, but, I just wanted to relax and, come on here, check y'all out. So let's get back into this R. Kelly thing. So I was talking about R. Kelly and how he and his team have appealed his no bond order, the last one that was denied. I think it was mid-May. JC, hold on. Not to change the subject, I do follow the Epstein case. If you hadn't heard this, number 2 and girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Finally, they're going for the whole ring. Yes, I did post that on my Instagram. If you guys aren't yet following me on social, please do so. Twitter and Instagram. I'll throw those up here. Here's my Twitter. I did post about Giselle Maxwell. But we'll talk about that. Let me make a note. I want to get R. Kelly out the way because Epstein. What do you guys think about this appeal? I think that it's still in Judge Ann's hands, right? Even though it went to appeals court. But yeah, they're appealing the no bond orders. I don't understand why he can't just sit down. But going back in the chat, let's see. We lost good leaders a long time ago. They started seeing all the black leaders losing their lives and they got ghosts. Oh, do you think people got scared out of leadership? Because I think a real true leader does not let fear keep them from leading. So maybe things have just changed in the way of leadership since, we have social media now and there's so many ways to get your voice out there. Maybe the leaders are in different sources. I don't know if you guys can hear the bangs out here, but it's really loud. And I have my my balcony doors open right here. So JC said they won't let him out on bond. Yeah. And Wayne said he's guilty. We're going to leave that up there. JC said it's loud. Oh, yeah, it is loud, huh? I should close that door. Hold on, let me close that door. But yeah, we're talking about R. Kelly and shit. Is he going to get bond this time that he's officially appealed it? Do we think? Okay, thank you for your patience. I closed the doors and the windows, so hopefully we won't be hearing those as loudly. Hey, Mary Blue, good to see you. She said, let me highlight your comment. With everything happening, no one is thinking about Predator Kelly, especially to be released. You're right about that. I'm going to say this. It was tweeted by a reporter who covers R. Kelly stories on Twitter that the appeal was filed. And I commented on that. I think I replied to a Beehiver, something they were asking about, why do they always use this picture of him, which was him in the orange jumpsuit. Let me pull up that here. Yeah, so somebody tweeted like, why are you guys always using this picture of him? And I think I replied something like, because this is his current state. This is what he's wearing. And they in turn replied, I guess they thought they were doxing me. And if you don't know what doxing is, that's when you are outing someone's identity. They replied with something saying he's in the same place as your ex or something to that effect, with a picture of some letters from jail. At the time, I was just kind of like, what? I just blocked them and kept it moving. But I thought about it, and I think that moving forward, because I get all kinds of, you guys wouldn't even believe, death threats, all kind of stuff. Well, I'm thinking I need to compile this stuff and give Angel Kroll a call, the prosecutor, and let her know that the minions, the Beehive, are at work for him, and this is why he shouldn't be out. He should not be out because of just these things. JC, the vid where he is in the courtroom and asking for the bail money back. Yeah, this is the picture they meant was the picture in the orange jumpsuit in general. Yeah, orange is the new black for him for sure. Yeah, JC, I was thinking too, I should compile everything and forward them to Prosecutor Kroll, or one of the, the prosecutor's office for this case, because I do feel that you're not going to keep me silenced. You're not going to threaten me into not reporting on him or, tweeting or whatever the case, because you feel like, because you're going to, want to scare me, because I'm not easily scared. I don't have any small children. Not to say that my life isn't worth protecting, but if I had small children, I may be a little more leery about it. But you know what? I feel like I'd rather push forward with the truth, which is that these people are dangerous. And who knows, he could totally be behind all these moves being made, because it's admitted by his close people that he listens to these YouTube channels. He's in the Facebook groups. He is all over the social media happenings about his case. I'm sure he has his finger on the pulse of who is who, as far as YouTubers go, as far as, people who support him versus people who don't support him. So I feel like, I need to, go ahead and push the gas on that. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I already have hired, my counsel says don't, because I had tweeted something out. They're like, don't tell them nothing. But I'm just say this. I already hired a digital forensics team, and I'm gonna uncover some of these trolls and make an example out of them, because I guess they're used to dealing with people who don't have the resources to combat them. But when I'm pushed far enough, you know what I mean, I have the time and the money to spend on such things that are important to my safety and well-being. Robert Millington in Jamaica. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. Let's see. Let me get back up here in this chat. So we're back on Epstein. Mary said, if they arrested Epstein's girlfriend, does he think he will get bond? That's a good question. That is a good question. Because it seems to me that they wouldn't arrest people during this climate if it was such a serious thing where they're not going to have people in the jails. They don't want to put people in the jails. Her crimes are as heinous as his. They're all disgusting. And he seems to not realize he's not in jail for stealing a candy bar out the dang gas station mart. He has got the worst crimes on him. So, and the people who defend him, I'm convinced, are, some of them I think are paid trolls. There are PR companies out there who, if you have enough money, they will have a whole team of internet trolls on your side, and they will do whatever you want, honestly. So let's see. Rockin' Robin, hey, good to see you here. So we're talking about R. Kelly appealing his no bond order, most recent one, and most of the consensus here is that he ain't getting it, and I personally feel that he's not getting it either. There seems to be people convinced that he's going to be out before trial. I do know that his first trial is October 13th, I believe, or at least the jury selection is going to start. I know that October is the first date. And, I just hope that all of the court trials do play out. Everyone needs to be heard. Everyone needs their time and in court, and the due diligence has to happen. But we do know that there are facts in place, video and all, to let us know this man, he don't need to be out. He's better off where he is, and so are we. Period. All right, so yeah, we can talk about this. So, the girlfriend of Epstein finally getting arrested. I was looking at this, and I was wondering if, they were talking about how she was kind of, doing things that a person who is being looked at by the feds or whatever wouldn't do. Like, she was in this $1 million mansion in the States, right? It's like, why didn't she go international? She could have probably done a lot of things, but I think, where exactly can you run when you really know deep down inside that you're wrong? You did a lot of people wrong, and you really just have to pay the piper. You have to be accountable. And yeah, unless, like Alice says, she's a soulless person. Because there are definitely soulless beings out here. Some of us are human and some of us aren't, and that's just the facts. Be careful who you're dealing with out here, you guys. I met a lot of people through YouTube. I was thinking about this too. I've been on YouTube, like a year and a half now, and I met, a handful of people on the personal level, and I feel like, for the most part, I should have left all them people alone. And YouTube is not the place to make friends. And I'm not talking about y'all, I'm talking like on a personal level, where you're dealing with somebody on a personal basis. Ty, I finally saw that Epstein, the Epstein documentary, and what a monster he was, an effing monster. Yeah. I started watching that and I just couldn't watch it. I turned it off. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to this. I need to watch something a little more lighthearted. I haven't gone back yet though. I'm sure it's good though. I mean, I can't believe there's somebody who like him and R. Kelly, like I put them in the same boat. Predators, single-mindedly just really going after people, not caring about anything but themselves and their own, self-service. I really don't understand why people do things like this regularly and think that nothing's ever going to happen to them. I guess the money, maybe the money. There you go, Wayne. Yeah. Heavy hitter, hello to you. Welcome. So we're talking about Epstein and R. Kelly, who appealed his no bond order. And I don't think he's getting out, y'all. I don't. So another thing that was in the news was Azriel, her car was torched. And what do you guys think about this? I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. There's a lot of people who, of course, are saying that she staged this, that she had this done herself for the attention, of course. But I do believe old Sylvester would definitely be behind something like this, or somebody who supports him. I do believe, for real. I really have been worried about her since the whole time, honestly, since we first saw the first docuseries. She's the reason I started my channel. The first video was a reading, because I do tarot, in case some of you may not know. And that's how I started my channel. And here we are now. She's back home with her parents, as I predicted. She would return home, yet Joy would not. I did say that in one of my readings. But I believe her. I believe this happened to her. And, so what? She cute and she coordinated. Like, people are like, oh, she coordinated her outfit with the, people are such haters. She's a young lady who, we have to remember when we were her age. I'm sure a lot of us are a little bit more mature. But you aren't really thinking about, there's certain things you aren't thinking about. Public perception being one of them. And she shouldn't be thinking about it, because she has every right to live her life as anyone else does, out in the open and out loud, and however she feels she should. She seemed to have a lot more mindfulness and a lot more going on intellectually than a lot of grown folks out here that I've seen, especially on YouTube. Oh yeah, Mertiz or Mert. Yeah, they did call a bomb threat in at the Surviving R. Kelly premiere. I think it was a watch party, right? Yeah. Rockin' Robin, let's ring these bells. Yes, bells for Azriel. So, we're praying for her, and hopefully she's safe, because if someone's doing this, and I think her home was also threatened for fire. I'm not really clear on it, but that just says that, they know where she is, they know who she is, and she really needs to think about relocating, being a little more discreet about her location at the very least. Yeah. Mert says, I wouldn't put it past if it's a fanatic gassing her car. Mary saying she's showing folks you can't break her spirit despite setting her car on fire. Plus, they could have put everyone else's lives in danger in the entire neighborhood, and that's so true. And I think she said the person caught themselves on fire doing this. So what an idiot. Like, whoever did this, like, I really hope they find and catch these people and make them a public spectacle, because this was, this is jail. You need to go to jail, okay? Let's see. Alice, correct. She never had a chance to grow up. Her youth was stolen from her. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget that. She was traumatized. That's trauma. Okay? Rape is trauma. I don't care. One of these YouTubers is saying, please forgive me for quoting this fool, but he said, if they're bleeding, they're breeding. And that was his answer to having sex with underage people or underage minors. He claimed he's never done it, but he was raised to believe that if they're bleeding, they're breeding. So if they're fair game, I guess, is his answer to having sex with a minor. So with that being said, that's disgusting. And it's illegal. It's morally wrong. It's legally wrong also. And I don't even know why people are still even debating this. Period. They want to know, well, what is the word they were asking? Basically wanting to know what's the thing that's going to make him get convicted. And my first thought goes to Rashana, the Landfairs, the whole family, and also Aaliyah, because they did use her in the indictment as a pattern. And but the videos, there's more than one video. There's like 4 videos. So he probably has time. I wouldn't doubt it. And you probably know who I'm talking about. I think you guys, Heavy Hitter said she remembered hearing that. But yeah, that's disgusting. And these people, do you have family members, sisters, cousins, children even? Do you have a daughter? Even a son? Because I understand he assaulted men also. I wouldn't be surprised if there are men who are going to take the stand against this guy. He's a creep. Even just looking at this picture of them on the screen side by side, like, come on now. He had no business being with her, period. Yeah, Ty. People are so crazy. Yeah, he probably did film himself doing it too, just like this idiot. Let's see, Rockin' Robin. That's a negative. Some babies are 10 or so when their bodies begin to change, but they are off limits. Exactly. Well, that's not according to him. He's been taught otherwise. He said that's the way he grew up, and that's how he knows it to be. And that goes to the other point that should be made in this, is that a lot of us have to unlearn, probably all of us, once we hit a certain age. We have to unlearn things. Just because you learn something growing up doesn't mean it's right. A lot of us were brought up by people who had no business teaching children anything. And, you just have to make sense of your own life and things that you were taught, and unlearn things and unpin things from your brain. It's important to get to know who you are and then kind of go from there, because a lot of things we're taught don't align with who we are as people. And then we end up doing things that we go, I don't even know why I did that. That didn't even feel good to do or say. It's because of the environment you were in, probably raised in, and the things that were around you, for the most part, said and done, that drove your decision making. But we got to do better. We got to do better as a people, as individuals, as a community. You know, Wayne said he looked guilty. So let's see. Anything else on Azriel in this situation? I mean, I'm sure they're investigating this. I'm really curious and anxious to see what comes out of it. I hope another superseding indictment comes out of this with more names added, more arrests, maybe. I'm reading the new comment that came in the chat. Perimeter music, welcome. Let's see. Let's highlight what you're saying here. I don't understand. I'm a white 21-year-old guy, and I'm just tuning in now. But the whole Black Lives Matter movement rubs you the wrong way. I think they have good intentions, but now it's all aggressive, and I don't know. Okay. Where do I begin? First of all, I don't know that it's something that you have to understand. If you don't at this moment, I mean, as long as you're not playing a part in the oppression, in the abuse and the brutality against Black people, as long as you're treating Black people like their lives matter and you're being a good person, what you should know is that all people aren't considering Black people as people, that in our systemically, we are oppressed people. The system's built to be against us. It was made that way. And therefore, we aren't being treated fairly in pretty much every sector of society, whether it's jobs, obviously the prison systems and and law enforcement. Everything you can think about, there's discrimination and setbacks for people of color. So regarding Black Lives Matter is just what that is. It's a movement to let everyone know that Black lives matter. As far as being aggressive, I mean, aggressive is one of those racial stereotypes. Just because you're Black, you aggressive. Okay, so sometimes you have to be aggressive to get your point made. And with regard to, if you're going to associate the looting and the rioting, there's a couple ways to look at that too, because a lot of that stuff wasn't even being done by Black Lives Matter protesters or members. They're being done by what they call anarchists and people who just want to either stir up trouble to make it look like it's Black Lives Matter, or people who have their own cause and they're against the system themselves and they want to jump in on the fight. But for the most part, Black Lives Matter is just that, letting people know Black Lives Matter by marching, by boycotting, protesting against certain officials, trying to get these policies changed, trying to get just the system torn down. Honestly, the system has to be torn down. Let's see. Let me get up here. Are we still on R. Kelly? Hold on now. I gotta catch up to you guys. Heavy hitters saying R. Kelly's lawyers are fools and they probably think they will get paid when they beat the trial. I've talked so much about those lawyers. I really do think they're in it for the limelight and for the attention. I don't think they're even expecting any money at this point, unless the money that they're getting from that dollar from the king or whatever other scam they're behind. Does anybody have anything to say to Perimeter Music, who is questioning Black Lives Matter? I want to make sure I give this answer the justice it deserves. But we are also talking about, a very important subject, which is predatory situations. Okay, so Rockin' Robin is saying, I wish that person was on the phone with me and my sister from another mother and mister. You have blinders on, my friend. So what point am I not getting across to this person by what he's saying? Or I'm assuming it's a he. Because he's just basically saying he wants to understand Black Lives Matter, and the aggression is rubbing him the wrong way. And my first point was that I don't know if he's supposed to be rubbed the right way. If you're not rubbed the right way by Black Lives Matter, that means you don't believe Black Lives Matter. If you don't understand the aggression behind the movement, if you want to call it aggression, it's really just frustration and having enough of being enough. If you didn't see the murder of George Floyd on live, or just even the murders that followed, there's years and years of police brutality on record where Black people have, men and women and children, have been killed for no reason whatsoever than breathing and existing. And Black Lives Matter is just what it says. It's a movement to make sure that your people, the people who run this world, know that we're tired of being treated as if we don't matter. Okay. I'm reading the chat. Rockin' Robin, he has a question about what? You should be uncomfortable right now. Sorry if you don't understand. Yeah, I guess that's my point too. If you don't understand and it's turning you off, then we're doing our job. Because if you were with the movement, just the whole Black Lives Matter itself, not any type of politics, not any type of agenda, just the fact that Black Lives Matter. If you can't get with that and you don't understand and you can't even get behind it, then you're part of the problem. I guess that's really what it is. I'm sorry, I'm reading these comments here. Mary, we're back on. Let's see. Let me get back to Hold up. Let me get back to this fool. Mary said, "Dollar for the King is a scam. Probably using that." I lost that comment. Probably using that money for Joyceland's expenses. I do agree that Dollar for the King is a scam. I think there's a couple of different campaigns. There's Dollar for the King, and then there's the Defense Fund or something like that. I do believe all of these things are scams. So anybody contributing to him, I feel really sorry for you. Even if you have the money to do so, there are so many other causes and people, especially children, who can use the contribution. Let's see. JC, a Black doctor called BLM Marxism, and all I can think about is Marxism ends in communism. A Black doctor called it Marxism? I know that the president, or your president, not my president, called it a terrorist, or no, maybe not terrorist movement, but he called it something to basically put it down. I don't know what his words were because I don't pay attention to this man as much as others. But let's see. Yeah, Robin, we addressed this one already. Andre Guthrie, hello to you. Goodness, you should know if Kels is going to get out. Your psychics. I think you meant psychics, aren't you? You said physics. He's not getting out. I'll tell you that right now. Moving on. Mert, sick and tired and sick of the injustice that has been done to people of color since we've landed here. Yes. Bells to that. Vanessa Leach. Welcome to the chat. I can say that I'm a victim of R. Kelly. In Orlando, Florida, where I was raised, R. Kelly came up to me when I was 15 years old, the same age as Aaliyah, and had agenda to be talking to me. Well, hopefully you didn't engage with him and you saved yourself from some trauma. Yeah, that sounds just like his MO. I believe you. And Florida, isn't that where Azriel is from? And it is illegal to engage for a grown-ass man to be And messing with anybody under, I think in that state it's 18, right? Wow. Okay, I'm looking through the comments, you guys. Yeah, he's disgusting. I'm not surprised either. Um, Back to the movement. Let me put this. Let me put the movement back up. Yeah, that video showed it all. If you don't understand the movement, you probably never will. The nation saw a man die before our eyes. It doesn't get any more graphic than that. Yeah, like I say, George Floyd. This uprising currently isn't just George Floyd, but George Floyd was like that. I guess that straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm hoping that we don't give up on the momentum of this, and that it doesn't get turned into some type of political propaganda. I do believe that I've seen things. Just all the cancellations, first of all, that have happened, the celebrity cancellations, which I'm not mad at, honestly. Like Trina, just people who say stupid stuff who really don't even deserve the popularity they have in the first place, in my opinion. There's also a lot of non-Black people, a lot of white people, Karens and such, who have been outed, fired from jobs, um, all of that, which is great. But and then we also have certain brands changing things, such as the Aunt Jemima brand. I think they're ending the brand altogether or renaming it, but they're not using the images anymore. Things like that, and those things are fine too. But it's not just about that. It's not. Is this? It goes way deeper than that. That's like putting a Band-Aid on it. Like, oh, we're sorry. Let's name a street after you. Like the whole Black in Washington, D.C., they painted the street Black Lives Matter. They've done that out here in Hollywood also. They added the word all in front of it, I think to include trans Black women or people. I don't even know how to term that. I don't want to offend anyone, but that's all great. Naming the street Black Lives Matter Plaza and all that, that's great. But that should just be, that's the fluff around the work that really needs to get done. We need laws to be changed. This actually reminds me of the whole Byron Allen situation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Byron Allen, the comedian who is now also a television mogul. He sued Comcast for discrimination, saying that they weren't going to run his channels because he's Black and because they're discriminating against him. And he actually jeopardized the Civil Rights Act of 1866 by having this thing go to the Supreme Court. And they told him, if you lose, this is going to affect all discrimination cases moving forward. And we're going to have a hell of a time proving discrimination should he lose this case. Now, from what I understand at this point, I think Comcast is settling with him. But he used our whole race. He used all of us and the Civil Rights Act to boot to win his case. I'm going to do a video on this though, because this is something I've been watching for months now and getting upset about. But this is not the time or place, because there's a lot that needs to be said about that. Let's see. Vanessa, Orlando, Florida. He goes to community centers for children. Oh God, and this is the type of thing people overlook, I think I can say, by when they defend him. He is a predator, and they want to deny the fact that he went to high schools. We have people even here, I don't know if the truth is still here, but she grew up in Chicago and knows all about and grew up seeing these things happen. She's just one of many who have testimony to this. I'm just tired of people defending him and then, like attacking people like me. All I'm doing is reading the news. I don't know any personal behind the scenes stuff about R. Kelly that I'm, trying to put out there or anything like that. I'm basically just covering the news. Yeah, I've done readings. I will still do readings tarot readings, and yeah, things have come out during those readings too. Things that have come out to this day. I did a reading on Rashana Landfair and the Landfairs, and it said that she was going to be celebrating with other women in that reading months ago. So, and before we even knew, she had testified to the grand jury. So be mad at me for that if you want to, but to attack me, threaten my life, try to out my identity and all that stuff. Keep doing what you're doing so I can make sure you get added to the indictment also. Let's see. Asriel is from Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, yeah, I believe they're from there, but weren't they living in Florida when she met R. Kelly? I think that is the case. Keisha is saying, let's see, it's a movement, clean the swamp, and we're going to clean up, whether people like it or not. If you're in the way, you're going to be clean with the rest of the trash. Yes. Bells for that. What did Heavy Hitter say that I missed? Let me look up here. Heavy Hitter said, me too. I ran from him in Chicago. Oh my God. You guys have some real stories. I'm so glad if you guys have come across him in your younger years and did not get caught up. I'm so glad to hear that you weren't involved and didn't, become one of his victims. Vanessa said, my dad came to pick me up when we started to talk. He was messing with me. I was scared. Wow. Shout out to your dad. Yeah. Yeah, this guy is done. He ain't getting bail. If he gets bail, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And if he does get bail, honestly, I fear for Asriel, Joycelyn, and any other victim in his cases. And I wouldn't even put it past him for that whole suicide pact they say he's big on. I believe that too. That came up in a reading also. And I think he would take that opportunity if he were to be released on pretrial bail to take his life and to encourage someone like Joycelyn to do the same with him. So he could go out of here with a bang. I could see that. And I pray to God that doesn't happen. Let's see. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, I've been here. I've been working and been busy. I'm out here being an activist. But thank you. Let's see. Vanessa, everybody around me that's how I believe he ended up in Orlando at the Smith Center. Yeah, Mertice, we have two people in the chat. She's saying R. Kelly tried to pick up when they were minors. El Good Enough. Hello, welcome back. Martise, yes, they live in Kissimmee, Florida now. Okay. Vanessa Leach, please help everyone. Lives matter. Yeah, I'm just thankful you guys weren't affected by that clown. He's disgusting. And I'm glad your dad was there for you. That's a lot of people just didn't have that or didn't, had too much trust maybe their parents had in them. Like for me, I can use myself as an example. Growing up, my parents, I had young parents and they were young when I was growing up. So, I had a lot more freedom than a lot of my friends. And thank God, I didn't get caught up in some stuff because I do remember there were instances of older guys coming around my elementary school, coming around my high school, preying on us. But, it just wasn't my path for something like that to happen. And I'm thankful. Yeah, he ain't getting out. And we have other things. We have other fish to fry. We got all these cops out here killing people. We just really need to get some changes made with policing. Just everything needs to just burn down and start over. Just burn down and start over. What else are we talking about? Let's see. On my list here, I have celeb cancellations and people getting fired from their jobs and things like that. I don't know if any of y'all have anything else to say on the matter. How long have I been on? Ooh, it's already been over an hour. Let's see, Andre, I don't know why you type in with periods after each word, boo boo. We are I'm an English major. Concentration on writing, so I can't really relate to this type of, write to me in complete sentences, or at least abbreviate things so I can actually make sense of it, okay? Alice said the whole world is a hellified mess. Yes, it is. It really is. So that's my Twitter. I'm gonna put up my Instagram. You guys should be following me on my social medias. I put different things on different platforms, just depending on my mood and depending on, what's going on for the day. But let me find the one for Instagram. There's my IG. So follow me on Twitter, follow me on IG, subscribe here if you haven't done so already. Like this video on your way out, or like it now if you haven't liked it yet. I really, my goal really for YouTube is to, I want to grow this. It's just that I have to figure out what direction and what things I want to cover, because this R. Kelly stuff, I'm burnt on it. I'm over it. Like I said, over the past year and a half covering R. Kelly stories, I have had the worst dealings with people. Some of y'all, people that y'all like, I'm not going to name no names, and I'm not going to get into specifics, but I will say that even after seemingly things were cool, there's still things that come up, and I, have to just remind myself that for whatever reason, people, I guess, feel like they need to compete, or they feel threatened. I don't know. I'm only seeing that I have 22 people in the live right now. So what's little old me going to do to another YouTuber as far as threatening? Nothing. I will say, if you're in the replay, I do appreciate you. Most of my numbers do come from replay views. Probably because I don't really announce my lives. I don't really make a big to do about going live. I just kind of jump on here for the most part. Alice, you rocked on. Thanks for being down to earth. Thank you. Oh yeah, I'm just being me. I appreciate you being here and spending your time. JC, I had to go back and find this story. It was Ben Carson. Wait, let me go up. I'm missing something here. Oh, good enough. I've been missing y'all too. Thank you. Yeah, I've been missing you guys. And I was gonna say that I think my goal, what I want to do is maybe I'll do once a week at least to start, to be consistent. So have a specific day and time that I come every week, and maybe over time, once I'm doing that, we can get into a groove, because I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. There's so many things that I have interest in and that I actually have a part of. I obviously do spiritual work. That's a whole other life. And so when I'm in my zone, when it comes to that, a lot of times I'm not even online. I'm off the grid. I can't do both. I'm one of those people. If I'm doing readings and or meditations, or I'm doing medium work for someone, I'm in that world and I'm in there for a couple days. It takes some time to come back to earth. I'm not one of those people who can just be in both realms at the same time. It's like I have to dive into one or be in the other one. I'm figuring it out. I promise you. I'm big on popular culture stuff. Like, I'm all about hot topics and things that are going on in, not only celebrity news, quote unquote celebrity news, but just things that are going on in the world that are important. Like this new thing that's going on with Jada Pinkett and August Alsina, the singer. That's crazy to me, because I don't know if you're up on that situation, but Jada Pinkett is quite a bit older than him. I mean, he's an adult, of course, but there's something to be said about predatory behavior. But let me go back up here. Keisha said, Joycelyn act like she don't want to be saved. Her mind needs a thorough cleaning. Joycelyn is a sad case. We are always expressing our concern for Joycelyn. As I mentioned, I've done readings over the year, couple on her, and she's always a sad presence when it comes to the spirit. There's depression, there's fear, even suicide. But my last reading actually said she was going to, it looked like she was going to be getting pregnant and maybe even married. It wasn't specific as to whether or not it was R. Kelly or someone different. The impression I got that it was someone different, and I'm hoping that it does. Alice is asking, do I do personal readings? I do. I don't do as many as I was doing when I first started the channel, as far as for other people. I have clients that come to me regularly, but I'm open to it. I'm gonna put my email here. I have a couple people who I'm working with that I want to reach out to, because I've been meaning to get some answers for them. They emailed me. Just know that I am responding to emails. There's my email address. So yeah, you can just email me and we can take it from there. Mary said that Jada was praying on August, and that her son, he was Jaden's friend. So yeah, and that's the other thing, is because I think the way Will and Jada raised their children, it seemed to be a very hands-off approach. So, and they're in that Hollywood crowd. So I think that their friends, the people they were hanging out with, probably shouldn't have been hanging out with a lot of these people. They're older people. I remember Willow, there was some controversy about her at one point when she was, I think, 14, and she was in the bed with a shirtless 20-year-old. And her mama said, oh, it's fine. He's a nice guy. But I just feel like children need parenting. Even after 18, I feel like most 18 and even through, I would say 20, for girls, maybe 22, 23, boys, maybe 25, 26, they still need help. They still need guidance. Hell, I still need guidance. I still call my mom for advice and, things like that. But I just feel like the way Jada raised Willow and Jaden set up for this thing to happen with her in August, because Jaden is younger than August, I'm pretty sure. So for him to have introduced August to his mother, and then for his mother to then carry on with him the way that the story goes, with Will's blessing, no less, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I can't even imagine my son bringing a friend home, or a friend meeting us up somewhere, and I'm hooking up with his friend. That's not happening. And my friend is grown. My son is grown. That wouldn't happen. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, but I'm glad she's going to take it to the red table, because at first she put a statement out with a rep saying, oh, that's not true. But for somebody who dissects other people's lives on her Red Table Talk show, she should definitely put herself on the table also. Actually, he should be there too. They should have a conversation, and they maybe have a mediator there, maybe her mom, or I don't know, maybe somebody he wants to have there. Maybe Will should be there too. Make it a whole family affair. And maybe Jaden too, since that was his friend. Willow too, hell, she might as well be there, because she's there for usually all of those shows. Let's see, Robin said, Ben is in Trump's. Oh, you guys are talking about Ben Carson. So let me go up, because I missed what y'all were talking about. JC said, Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson on the divide over policing in America. Ben Carson calls Black Lives Matter. Oh, Ben Carson calls. Okay, that makes sense, because we know he's a dang coon. I think he's over the housing authority right now, isn't he? Um, yeah, I don't, anybody who is down talking Black Lives Matter, anybody, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and combating it, you're the problem. You're the problem. Um, let's see. I think we're good at this point. Mary said Jada's going to talk in circles at her red talk. She won't be honest. I love the fact that we know this already. We already know it's bullshit. We already know she gonna strategize some type of story, right? Yeah, I agree. They may try to pay him off behind the scenes. You never know. You never know. Um, yeah, I think we can call it, y'all. It's about almost an hour and a half here. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna, like I said, today is what, Friday. So I don't know. For me, typically evenings are best. I like later in the week, Thursday, Friday, because a lot of things go on during the week. So maybe we can do late during the week live just to catch up on things. I definitely want to come here more often and expand the platform, talk about other things. I do want to say, and pardon my language right now, but I want to say this before I leave. Fuck R. Kelly. And I mean that. All right, y'all. I love you. And until next time, peace.